Sydney, do you have any pre-show predictions for this evening?
Thumbs up.
Okay, thank you. Good plan.
No, don't let people take up. It's just the people that's going to gear.
This is a private
Gear
fair.
group, just the gear group.
Just the gear group. They need their privacy. That's why I'm recording them. Kanan?
Yes,
Any words of wisdom before we begin the event?
Like my father once said to me, drink them if you got them.
Your father said that to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like so many of us.
At least I have. The DJ.
Is he? Are you DJ?
What?
Yeah.
You guys all have or?
Do you have any suggestions for the beginning of the show?
Rock on it. How many did we're gonna cry?
Don't cry.
Myself,
Yes.
Jess, and Megan.
It's gonna be tight.
Close to home. Did you see that?
Sort of.
Is this thing on? Hello?
Hello.
Oh my god.
You gonna stick your hair up like that?
This would be an appropriate hairstyle for Costa.
Very nice. It's kind of Deep Space Nine-ish in a way.
A little bit.
Everybody!
Welcome guys, this is the video of our Digital Stories event. This is what we've been working for the entire semester. We're going to watch some digital stories, both from the community psych class and from close to home. Should be a great night. That's what you would have heard if you'd been at the event. Unfortunately, we lost the footage. What follows is a dramatic reenactment of what happened. Enjoy.
My name is Kanan Hoffman.
My name is Nafisa Sulaiman. I'm a senior here at Curry College.
And I'm a sophomore. We created an icebreaker for the community and the audience so as to create a comfortable atmosphere to get past the tensions of an uncomfortable subject. We spoke for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we introduced Dr. Kahn.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jack Kahn. I surprised our community psychology class and the audience after receiving a huge round of applause, thank you very much, by showing a digital story that I created that demonstrated the creation of the community psychology class. And here it is. Hi, my name is Jack Kahn. I live in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. I have diverse interests. I have a rather diverse family. I'm also a professor at Curry College. In the last few years, I've been doing some pretty interesting research looking at different kinds of masculinities as they intersect with communities, and I thought it might be kind of cool to put together a community psychology class here at Curry. So I met with a couple of the academic deans to talk about putting together a 4-credit course that would take the research and theory of community psychology and connect it to work that was being done out in the community. The idea was to help students make those connections by actually being involved in doing community work. So I met with over 50 people from different members of different faculty departments to different members of staff in the library, in career services, helping us with different areas of technology, to residence life, to spiritual life. I even met with alumni to ask them questions about things they think could improve courses at Curry College and solicited their input for ideas. I talked to community leaders, I talked to other people in the community just to get a general idea about what might help make this class really successful. Then I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if we trained the students in working with the amazing folks at Close to Home on how to be allies in their domestic and sexual violence prevention campaign. They could learn about digital stories and other kinds of things that Close to Home uses to bring the community together to fight domestic and sexual violence. Then I thought, let's bring in experts, people from both within the Curry community and outside the Curry community that could train them in specific skills that people use in doing this kind of work. In addition, I thought it might be interesting to expose them to other agencies in the Boston area that do this kind of work, like the Multi-Services Eating Disorders Association and the Family Nurturing Center in Dorchester, the VA Hospital in Bedford, Massachusetts, and Community Change. Here we are, 20-something people about to embark on this journey. How the hell are we going to do this all in one semester?
Hi, I'm Mary Kate. I'm part of the public relations group. Our group was important because it made connections between all of the task force groups, along with the people from Close to Home. We did things like creating the Facebook page, video editing, and we presented to various classes around campus.
Hey, I'm Jen, and I work for the technology group with Ben and Hanan, and we did a site map and an audit of the Close to Home website.
My name is Janelle Mayo, and I was a part of the funding task force. One of the reasons we came up with the funding task force was to raise money for Close to Home. As a nonprofit, we noticed that money is an issue and we wanted to help out in some way. Now I'll hand it off to Samara.
Hi, my name is Samara Page, and I'm part of the GEAR group, which consists of Megan and Jess and myself. We created the GEAR group to raise money for Close to Home and create the message in a fashionable manner. Next, I will be passing this off to Garrett Goodman, who introduced Close to Home.
Hey, my name's Garrett, and I introduced Close to Home at the Digital Stories Showcase, and I talked about Close to Home with Priscilla, and also worked in some of the discussion groups, which was pretty sweet.
Hi, my name's Claire, and I worked with Ben as an MC for the Digital Story event. I worked at introducing groups and basically just helped run the entire show. I also worked in getting people in a comfortable mood to talk about sensitive topics.
After the presentations, we watched digital stories created by the class.
Here I am, 22 years old and standing at the crossroads in my life. On one side, graduate school, on the other, the unknown. Let's rewind to find out how I got here. 3 months ago, I was working full-time and living for the weekends, anticipating my senior year. The troubled guys I work with filled my summer with laughs, so I won't really complain. May of junior year, I was dying, or what I thought was dying. Kidney stones are no fun, and I don't wish them upon my worst enemy. Even with some medical issues, I still managed a 3.6 GPA. Not too bad if you ask me. March of 2010, sitting by the pool in Jamaica with my good friend Griff. New Year's 2010, in Manhattan, a tradition for the last 3 years, thanks to this girl. The beginning of my junior year, moving off campus into a house that would have even Belushi blushing. Thank God that's over. The community outside the Curry gates isn't as forgiving to 7 college guys who party on the weekdays. Sophomore year, I was an RA for the best group of guys I've ever met. The Res Life community at Curry allowed me to meet those guys, who will be my lifelong friends. Freshman year, God, I was young and immature. Who wears a bra when you're a guy? Really now? Back to high school, in good old Medford, home of the Mustangs, although the school sports always lost. The Medford community still wore the blue and white, with pride, no matter what. My 2 best friends, artsy hippie type and life-size teddy bear. Oh, the crazy times I've had with these guys. Sophomore semi-formal, Beauty and the Geek. Freshman year of high school, I remember I couldn't wait. Middle school now. I was a Harry Potter lookalike before he was cool. Playing baseball was my life in those days. It started when I was in the 3rd grade. Wow, already back to elementary school. I remember recess, foursquare, and kickball. Not a care in the world back then. Back in kindergarten, when I could take a nap in class and the teacher wouldn't mind. Not the case these days. Back to the little Rob who could hardly walk. Let's take a walk in Dorchester. After all, it's where I was born, in a hospital that's no longer there. But my spirit lives on. a place full of cognitive distortions, where disqualifying the positive happens every day. More focus is on violence and crime than the community agencies and positive actions by its members.
Racism is everywhere in this world.
Even in our college community, that isn't brought to our attention.
In recent weeks, this has directly affected our community.
One of our student body peers committed what we view as a hate crime.
This can be a chain reaction.
I am not part of the African American community.
I am not part of the Jewish community, but I am part of the Curry community.
The placing of hate symbols on a variety of visible places at Curry College brought back the presence of racism, not only in this world, but also at Curry College.
The first start to changing this starts with our generation.
In our community psychology class, we focus on ways to change the presence of racism in our school and our community. This is our first step to changing our community. What's yours?
Is to laugh it off. We could tie hate crimes into that, you know, because how many, I mean, the guys in the circle, you'll hear your friends be like, oh, you're a fag or something. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a hate crime, you know, and that's you know, just being disrespectful to the LGBT community, or you know, just being like, oh, no, like, no homo.
Actually, that's kind of not a great question, but like, would you guys be open to talking about like sexual or domestic violence with your group of friends, or would you prefer to talk about it with like a specialist, a professor? Like, who would you trust?
Happened, I was in Fenway, and there were like two students. They were definitely in high school, obviously, and the boy had the girl up against the wall right near Shaw's, and he was kind of really in her face. They weren't yelling, but you could tell that he was angry, and he just didn't want people around him to hear. And like you, I wouldn't initially get it.
Actually, a song about domestic violence where the people that live above her are having arguments, and she can like hear people crying and hear people laughing.
You see in the movies, you see all this commonality, great prominence in society. You always see it as happening to someone else. You never consider the fact that it might happen to you.
We're going to have a little discussion. Each group leader is going to tell us what their question was, what they centered around, and we're going to bring it back to you. And we're going to start with Rob, who's reading off his phone.
Sorry, I didn't bring any notes or anything. I had the same question for two groups. In the last group, I kind of threw a curveball and threw a different question at them.
Whoa.
Sorry about that, it wasn't in the script.
A little freaked out right now.
Well, the question that I talked to with two groups about was, what would you do to promote hate crime and racism awareness to your social circle, meaning like the people you're with the most?
We have anyone who wants to take that?
Just looking for one or two ideas from the group.
And the winner is
Dun, dun, dun.
What would you do to promote hate crime awareness and racism awareness amongst your social circle, your inner circle of friends? The people you go out with on Friday, Saturday nights, like your closest friends. What would you do to promote that amongst your friends?
We talked about pretty much calling out the person, I guess acknowledging that what they said, what was it, 2 positives and then a negative, you know, say, look, we understand what you're trying to say, but can you use a different word, or, you know, try and change things up a little
Absolutely.
bit?
I think the example she was referring to is, you know, males especially like to say, you know, oh, that's gay. Well, instead of saying that's gay, pick a different word, you know, or say, hey, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that, you know, that's not gay. That's just, it sucks, you know. So word choice is what it boils down to in that situation specifically that we talked about. Anyone else?
Selfie show? Can we share?
No.
Let's move on. Thank you, Rob.
Jen wanted to share.
You can share from your group.
Sorry, I thought you wanted to share your question.
No, I wanted
It's all you,
I'm
Ross.
done.
So in my group, we talked about how in certain, like if you're hanging out with your friends that are like all male and they might make a sexist comment or something, like you as a person can tell a little fib and be like, or say like, oh hey, like, well that's my sister, or that's like, what if that was your sister, or what if that was your mom? And then they kind of think about it and are like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have just said that. So.
Advocating lying. I like it.
Yeah, we talked about that.
True that.
This is more
We will
comment
not
on the
limit
whole
your giving.
process, the
Right.
fact that you all are owning it so much and taking, each person is taking a part, and it's very impressive that way, and your energy and spirit. I mean, right from the get-go with friendly ambassadors at the door, and I mean, it's so upbeat, it's almost hard to take.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
right.
When you guys signed up for the class, did you know like what it entailed?
Had no idea.
I'm gonna feel this.
You didn't know what it entailed when you said
Hold on.
Hold on.
Oh, let's turn on the microphone.
Doesn't work.
I had a little bit of an idea that we'd be like doing stuff outside of the Curry gates, if that's what you mean. Like I had a little bit of an idea, but not to the extent that I have now, if that makes any sense. Like I knew we'd be, you know, going off grounds for class like 1 day a week and having guest presenters and stuff, but overall no. Just like general interest.
And this, like, we didn't decide to do this until like halfway through the semester. This wasn't planned
together in like
anything.
3 to 4 weeks, I want to say. Like,
This was also something we decided we want to do. It wasn't like a class requirement.
We all wanted to do it. Digital stories were our choice. Also, going to different events, it's amazing. You meet new people, you meet new networks for people who need internships. Whether you don't know what field you want to go into, there's a lot of people you meet at different events. It's really great to actually get off campus and do some fun events. So.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, I asked this question of Samara. Yes. So I already asked Samara, so maybe she can go first, but how did each one of you change as a result of this course? Like the whole thing?
Great question. I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I feel like I want to do more for like my community. I want to share everything that I've learned. I've learned that I do have a voice. Everyone has a voice, and everyone has the power to at least, if you can't stop it, you can at least try to help it, and you have the power to do so. And I do everything that I can if I learn about it, if I know my friend, somebody in my family, anybody that I know that is going through something like that, or even if I don't know them, I just let them know, like, if you ever need to talk, I'm here for you.
I wanted to say, outside of like, you know, the kind of class content, I have gained so many friends from this class. I would never talk to Rob. But no, like really, you just wait. Like the bond that we have in the classroom is like no other class. You really like, we're so close, and the people we've met from close to home, like I've really gained a lot of friends, and it's been the best class I've ever taken.
Hot dog eating contest.
All right,
guess I'll go next. I've learned that we're all not so different, and we all have something in common, you know. Just because somebody, I've learned from Dr. Khan, just because somebody dressed different, look different, we may have more in common with that person than somebody, you know, that look exactly like us. That's something that I would take away from him, that he taught me to look at things from a different point of view. So I've learned about everybody. I'm the oldest in the class, the oldest student. So it's been fun, and it's been a very good learning experience. And I recommend his class. Anyone
I would say I've matured a lot. You know, obviously you saw me up there running around with a bra on freshman year. And I think it's just, I've matured a lot by like learning about all these different agencies, whether it's domestic violence, eating disorders, you know, the Bedford VA, the Nurturing Center, all these different things that I would, you know, at the beginning of the year had no interest in, to be brutally honest, you know. But then once you learn about them and you meet the people that are from these agencies, you're like, wow, like, you know, they can help me, or, you know, I can make a difference in the community. So I've matured a lot, I'll say it and end with that.
Anyone in the back want to answer that question? Not that you have to.
Stop eating the cupcakes.
Ross.
In addition to what Claire has said, as well as Nafisa, as well as really everyone, I'll stand up. One big thing I feel like I've gained from this class, and close to home in general, was to really be able to take things like topics like violence and sexual abuse, and while it's still very serious, in another way, to make it table talk, to make it something you can talk about and really advocate for, against, and spread the information about it. Before this class, whenever things like that would come up, and I definitely feel that I would do things like this, and I know a lot of people, whenever issues like this came up, people kind of swept it under the rug, didn't want to talk about it. But this class and Close to Home are very good about bringing that sort of thing up to the surface and really spreading information.
Yep. Thanks, Ross. Anyone else from the back want to answer that? We don't have to.
Caitlin. Go, Caitlin.
Woo! Hi, I'm Caitlin.
Speak your mind.
I feel like this class really brings the sense of community and really teaches you how to get involved with everyone, and everyone in our class is pretty open with each other, and it really helps you get involved in your community back home, because I'm from Brockton. I didn't even know there's Close to Home in my town. So we have pamphlets over here in numbers, and feel free to come up and get them. Thank you.
So I just want to say that everything Mandy just listed, all the things that they've done throughout the whole semester, is something called community organizing. And when I came to you guys' classroom, I looked at a group of students, and now I'm looking at a group of community organizers. You guys should be really proud of yourselves.
Our question.
Yes.
Shoddy.
I just want to know, how can you get involved if you're not part of the class?
Priscilla. Yes, talk to Priscilla. Get involved with Close to Home. Get involved with things on campus. We have a lot of resources, flyers in the back about different ways that you can get involved.
On your table, on the back,
Facebook.
on the website, on
Facebook.
Community Psychology, Close to Home.
What was that fee?
Could folks who are here who represent other similar kinds of things at Curry just do a 15-second I'm part of whatever, because there's lots of different ways to get involved with these kinds of things. Supporting Close to Home is great, but there's also a lot of really neat things going on campus. So if anyone's here would like to do it, please, yeah, Hattie.
I'm I'm the faculty advisor to One Curry, which is a social justice activism group on campus looking to raise awareness about human rights and global human rights. We show films like Rape in the Congo. We started a nonprofit and to send Afghan women to medical school because of the abuse of Afghan women. They can't see male doctors, so therefore they die of common causes and things like that. I also just finished my doctoral research on looking at the all the same month, but my research was on looking education on undergraduates. And what is shocking us is that your answers to the questions were word for word the answers to the questions of other undergraduates who go outside of their comfort zone to help another person, and they end up learning so much about themselves and the world, and it changes them. It's transforming. So
thank you, Pen.
Keep going, Jack. Eh?
Yeah. Other folks, please. Other people that are representing minors or other areas, could you just do a little 30-second thing? We have a minor in our department, etc. I'm part of X Club. Thank you. I was thinking.
And I am actually the co-faculty advisor for MSU, the Multicultural Students Union, who are astonishingly involved in the community, not just the local community, but the wider Massachusetts community, helping in organisations like this. I also sit on the African American Studies program, which should all become honest. Nothing as transformative or amazing as inspiring.
Can people come talk to you after this to get ideas? Or
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Please. Just for 30 seconds. Okay. You want to say something about your course?
Oh, my name is Sandra Roman from the Sociology and Criminal Justice Department. I teach a course in domestic violence and talk about a victim-centered response to domestic violence and look at it from the sociological lens, the psychological lens, the feminist lens, and the criminal justice lens. And I also did bring some Jane Doe maps of services in the community, toll-free hotlines, services to different Hispanic, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. So if anyone ever does need to talk to somebody, if you took one of those maps, it's from all over Massachusetts, resources that you could use.
Thank you. Other
Well, I'm a senior minoring in women's and gender studies. We're kind of underrepresented, so we could really use some more people to join, so I just brought some flyers. And the full course is 15 credits, and it's very relevant to what was covered tonight.
Sure. Can you put that on the table after we're done, and then people can pick them up? And can people talk to you about the minor also?
Sure.
Do we have any other women in gender studies minors in here in case people are interested? Right here. Thank you. Others that are representing similar things? Okay. Maybe you should guys wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other pressing business we want to get to right now? Anyone dying to say something? All right. Claire? Rob is hungry. Everyone take note of that.
Go back to the table and get some food.
And Claire, you want to lead us out?
All right. So,
I'm just here to
again, we really hope that you all enjoyed yourselves. I know we did. And we really hope that you learned something about domestic violence, sexual violence, and hate crimes, and the things that you can do to prevent it. We have information available in the back about the different resources. And thank you so much for attending the first ever Community Psychology Digital Story Showcase. And we all hope that you take what you have learned here tonight and use it to educate on the issues of domestic and sexual violence and the ways that you can work to prevent it. Again, we want to give Close to Home a huge round of applause. You guys. Buy stuff because everything's going to Close to Home. It's an amazing organization. And we want to take this opportunity as a class to thank Dr. Khan because you have been...
Maybe take a bow.
Thank you.
In front of the camera, in front of the camera.
All right.
Wave.
Do a cartwheel. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, everyone.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that went pretty well.
That's a wrap.
Thank you so much.
Everyone knows Jack again.
It wasn't once in a moment.
Email me, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that sounds excellent. Thank you. That's great.
How'd we do? How'd we do?
That was intense.
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Very nice, Dr. Khan.
Awesome, thank you.
It really touched me to see
You guys rock this whole class.
Love you all.
Thank you. I didn't know Close to Home was that.
I know.
Close to Home is awesome. Did you know that
Just
already?
a bunch of misfits.
You guys didn't figure that out yet?
Wait, no. Definitely not.
I don't know what they're talking about. Moving on.
Do I say something? Do I have to say something?
You don't have to, but it'd be great if you did. What'd you think, Vlad?
It was great. I really loved it, and I really felt the sense of community in the class, which was heartwarming to me. So
thank you.
It was good.
Finlan, comments?
Jack, this is amazing. All your hard work, your class is really awesome. I'm so moved and so
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
coming.
really admire your student group, and I think this is awesome psychology class.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I was smashing.
One is plenty.
Right now we want to just take it easy.
The other one is really
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. I met the parents already. I hope you don't mind I bragged a little bit.
Yeah. It's all good.
There might be more.
You're like Priscilla.
Thank you.
Adios.
I didn't. I gotta get my
Sayonara.
Close to Home needs t-shirts, people.
T-shirts?
We got them. T-shirts for Close to Home.
I just had the most amazing conversation with the two cutest people in the world. Oh my god, I wanted to cry. He was like, this is so inspiring, and like, I don't know if you have this on camera, but we made over $300. Are you guys in charge of this one?
Awesome, you guys. That's great.
We have made over $300. Thank you guys. I'll be seeing you all later.
Don't give it to Priscilla.
It's been real.
Do not give it to Priscilla.
My gas money, this is my ticket out of here. All right.
As long as you're buying my hot dogs, I'm okay with this. Huge.
I'm not showing up Saturday after this, all right?
I've got
We made a strategic error.
Yeah, somewhere.
Who else is coming out for the hot dog challenge? Janelle?
I wish I could. I have to work.
Okay.
Wait, I might be in.
Oh, lame.
I kind of want to do it.
Yes.
There's no kind of want. I want to. The question is just will.
Wait, who's cooking the hot dogs? Next Saturday.
Hot dog eating challenge. Who's coming?
Vlad, are you doing the hot dog eating challenge?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm the winner.
You're gonna win?
I'm the winner. Yeah.
Again.